Well, I'm live. Okay. Didn't know I was live. Thought there was an intro. Let me get to the intro, shall we? If it's there. And of course it's not. There it is. Let's do the intro, I guess, since
Final out. No filter. The game's over, but we're just getting started. This is the Todd Fox Postgame Show. Your home for raw reactions, real talk, and everything Angels baseball. From the opening rant to your calls to what the fans are saying right now. We're handing out the Golden Stamos. And yeah, somebody's taking home the Nacho Night Award. Callers, comments, Stamos, Nacho. Let's go. The Todd Fox Postgame Show.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
hey, welcome into the Todd Fox post-game show. A little belated late start to this one as I got home a little late from the game. We were there, obviously. It's by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. This is the Halos in the Infield post-game show and network, brought to you in part by 714 Tickets. We'll talk about that as we go along. But man, oh man, is there a lot to talk about. I want to see the comments. I want to get your vibes from tonight's game. A lot to talk about. The score is going to be kind of put on the back burner on this one, as there was a fight, and a pretty big fight tonight. Interesting to see what the suspensions are. And, since I messed up the intro, which sucks, I'll get this right at least. Hey, I got something to say. I finally hit that one on time, but let me start off the rant by this. When I played baseball, there was unwritten rules. Now the unwritten rules have slowly been dying, and they're going by the wayside. Some say it's good, some say it's not. I'm kind of in between. I think some of the things like letting the players play is good. Some of the things, like what happened tonight is bad. And what do I mean by that? The fight, I'm all for. I'm all for sticking up for your players, because the Angels have been hit more than any Major League Baseball team through the first 12 games. I get it. And I get that there's frustrations. The thing that I'm pissed off is we didn't exactly throw back at them. And again, you're only playing the Braves 3 times. You got one more game tomorrow. My whole point is this. Anderson pitched, 50 to 60 something pitches tonight in mop-up duty. When I played baseball, and I played a couple games that got into brawls in high school, and I got into one that was in the minor leagues, and what we did was exactly what happened tonight happened in our games, but what we did differently is the guy who pitched the night before in mop-up would start the next game, and he would get the nod, and the team would already know, okay, this is going to be a retribution inning. And the first batter would get plunked. The starting pitcher, which was the reliever from the night before, would get tossed. And he wasn't going to play anyway, so it didn't matter. And then you would have the starter who was going to just go in there as a reliever / starter. He would get the 5 innings no matter what, unless he got lit up. Both benches would be warned. And you move on. And if they furthered the action by hitting one of your guys, now they're risking one of their starters to get hit. And at the same time, you're telling your guys don't brawl. So if bench is clear on a hit batter, then you just hold the guy next to you, and that's it. You don't escalate anything. And that's how you would deal with things. Tonight's game was look, I love Shauna Wells' enthusiasm. I didn't expect anything from Mike Trout, of course. And you wouldn't want him to do anything anyway. You don't want him to break his hamate bone again. And you don't want to have anything happen to any of your star players. But I know now why Soler took those heavy shots against the pitcher. Do you know why he took it? Well, my boy Halo Joe decided, hey man, I got the scoop for you, man. Let me show you exactly why Soler was so angry. Now, check this out. I don't know if you can see the picture right here, but Halo Joe sent that to me. Look what he's got in his hand. He's got the baseball. So Lopez, after Soler was hit yesterday, he didn't want anything up and in. He got hit today, I should say. That pitch came up and in on him. But look where his hand is. He's clutching the ball. And look where he's throwing the ball at Soler's face. So this major league pussy, MLP, Lopez, decides to use a weapon. Because that's a weapon. Now, real players in hockey and in baseball, automatically, you've seen it. Just go back and look at Pedro Martinez, look at Nolan Ryan. They throw the glove and ball down on the ground, and let's go. Fist. Just like Soler. And I'm not being biased about my boy Soler. I'm not being biased whatsoever. But the fact that Soler manned up and put his dukes up and was like, all right, motherfucker, let's go. That's a man. That's how you want to fight. But when you got an MLP on your team like Lopez, a major league pussy, he's too scared to throw punches. Soler would have beat his ass. And it took 3 guys to take Soler down because Soler wasn't messing around and he took a shot. So let's look at the fight itself because I'll go to the highlights. And here they are right here. Let's see. I think it's this one. Before. That's after. I'm sorry. They jump in there and take a shot at him. That was some shit right there. I didn't like that at all, dude. I did not like that. Let's see it again. Watch how he backs up. And all of a sudden, you'll see Lopez try to charge Soler as he's already tackled on the ground, like the MLP that he is. Look, hits him with a baseball right there. Luckily, Soler's helmet was on. Now that he's tackled, now he wants to bum rush and act all big and bad. Man, and look at Trout. Now, Trout, this is what I got to say about Trout. I love you, man, but I would have said, okay, if you want to hurt your wrist, I could use you out for 2 weeks. And that sounds stupid, right? It's not like we haven't played without him before, but you see how he was untouched? Nobody touched Mike Trout whatsoever. If I'm a player on the team, I don't know how to feel about that. Old school me and how I played, Trout being the leader, he had every opportunity to knock that fucker out. Nobody tried to stop Trout. Trout had both hands on Lopez. He could have inflicted some major damage on Lopez and chose not to. I say 90% of the fans are probably like, you know what? He made the right move. He didn't hurt himself. He didn't try to get himself suspended. Good for Trout. And that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. My opinion is he should have knocked his fucking block off. And I bet you now that they've probably been able to see the replay and what actually happened, and maybe they check the social media, and when Trout's not having sex with his wife, he can look at it and say, oh my God, he tried and hit my teammate with a baseball bat or with a baseball in his fist. That sucks. I should have clocked him. Dude, Lopez would have crumbled he would have folded like playing cards. He literally would have. He would have folded like a house of cards if Trout would have decked him. Trout looked massive. Look one more time at how big Trout is compared to Major League Pussy. Look at right here. He's on the ground. Now he wants to bum rush him. Trout's right there in his face and had him. Could have decked him. Could have decked him. You go back to when the Angels wore this logo. Check out some of those fights. Look up Anaheim Angels versus Kansas City Royals. Tell me that those players did not love each other. Tell me that those players would not go to battle for each other. Shoot, Gary DiSarcina, one of the scrawniest guys on that Angel team, was in the dugout. and ran on the field to kick some guy's ass. So, yeah, you can pick Trout doing the right thing. I think he should have stuck up for his guy. Holding the player is not good enough for me. And with the frustration of this franchise and this fan base for so many years, being picked on, ridiculed, made fun of in the media, hit all the time, they rarely stick up for themselves. Hell, a lot of you fans still think highly of Rendon for throwing his fist with a cast against somebody. A lot of you still think that way, even though he's the biggest asshole of all time in Major League Sports. But you still feel like, oh my God, he's endured to my heart because he freaking stuck up for our guys. He may not have cared about baseball, but no way you're going to hurt his guy. And then remember that fight? There was the pitcher that actually threw the pitch that actually apologized to Wanker, the player who went after our guy, our pitcher. He said, oh, I'm sorry. They told me to do it. Pussy. That guy should have been DFA'd right there. But Rendon got a second chance with you and me because Rendon put up and made the other players shut up. And I think, listen, how the fight went, I'm proud of the boys. I'm proud of Shonawell and everyone else who stepped in and did their part, except Minkata. You saw him too busy worrying about his wristbands and his what is it called? His elbow pad. And for a minute there, I thought, okay, Trout did his thing. He did do his thing. But man, I would have loved for him to set the tone, like the comment here, Adrian says, and deck the guy. That would have been nice. So you had the fight, but here's what happened earlier in the game. The Angels had a 2-0 lead, actually.
Soler once again has torched Ronaldo Lopez.
I mean, those numbers are almost impossible to think how good they.
That's another thing. That to me justifies the fight. Ronaldo Lopez has been getting torched by Soler for some time. You don't think these players know that? And even if they forget about it, they get reminded in pregame when they're going over the strategy for the game, when they're going over the film, when they're just doing a deep dive on who's facing them in the opponent. He knew Soler owned him, and Soler took him deep. And so that pussy came back and decided to throw punches.
Almost felt like it was Walt Weiss was in there to be able to try to stop that.
Yeah, it seemed to be. Well, the first pitch to Soler in this at-bat was upstairs. Remember, he got hit by a pitch earlier in the game as well, after the home run. So they just kind of stared each other down after Shonawell advanced.
So, yeah, even Gooby was like, hey, that's some good punching right there. And it was to a point. But, damn, dude. Like, again, I would have loved for Trout just to run in. No one would have expected it. Imagine Trout just come by with that pretty boy face, the clean image. It's his bobblehead night. He hasn't done shit anyway. And he just comes out and clocks that motherfucker. Dude, you realize, look, Soler got a standing ass ovation. And we'll probably get another one the next game he comes out, whether it's tomorrow or on the when they come back home. But damn, imagine if Trout does it, it'll take about an inning or two for them to sit down. I'm telling you, like Bally's would be going crazy. So with all that happened in the game, you had a game which the Angels played and did not exactly play well. So you had the fight surrounding everything, and the Angels go down 7-2 when they had a 2-0 lead. I played you that highlight. They're up 2-0. You're like, hey, what happened? I didn't watch the game. Well, here's what happened. In the first inning, obviously Soler hit the 2-run homer. Then you had White double in Olsen to make it 2-1. You had Riley single to right. Olsen scored in the fourth. We were tied at 2. White hit a sacrifice to center. Riley scored. Dubon to third, 3-2. Himes singled. Dubon scored 4-2. Then Albies hit a homer in the eighth. Baldwin singled to center, scoring a run. Yastrzemski. Olsen grounded into a double play, but the run scored 7-2. The Braves, they went, let's see, 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 7. The Angels went 1 for 11, left 10 men on. That's no good. Why do you think they went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position? Ooh, teacher, I know. Because they struck out 14 more times. Yes, 14. I said it. 14 times. So again, they've had strikeout season lows of 9 and 8. So we haven't even I don't know if it's unreachable to get to 3 strikeouts or 4 for the least amount in a game. But getting to 8 or 9 is like an accomplishment. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's 33% right there at 9 strikeouts of your total 27 at bats. That's still terrible. You'd want that around 20 or less percent. And you're striking out 9 fucking times and you're throwing a parade. You struck out 14 times out of 27 outs. You can't win games like that. So, okay, take that away then, Todd. What did the pitching do? Oh, I don't know. We have a guy who has, $100 million contract, and he's supposed to be ace from last year, and he got knocked down by a rookie. Soriano's second-year guy. And yes, Soriano's pitching like an ace, but what the hell is Kikuchi doing? Stinking it up. That's one Coochie that stinks. Again, dilly-dallying around the strike zone. Not being aggressive. Where the cheerleaders saying, be aggressive, be aggressive. Kikuchi. No. Instead, we get 1 or 2 strikeouts in the stadium and you hear, you say, and they're trying to get the crowd, and they stop the little soundbite, that Jewel song, I think it's Jewel, where you only hear what I want to. It's that Total Chick song, right? But they play that first part that goes, you say, and the fans are supposed to go, Kikuchi! No, he ain't falling for that shit. He ain't a strikeout pitcher. He sucks. And that's our freaking all-star representative from last year. Ooh, I'm scared. This guy's a number 4 at best, and he's rocking the 2 spot. Another mediocre start for him. And again, it's the same shit. Throw too many pitches in the first couple innings. Dodge a few bullets and get out of jams. Have just a train wreck third inning. Recoup in the fourth. Get barely through the fifth. And then throw it to your bullpen. You're always giving your bullpen a hard time when this guy starts. I even told a few guys, stop nibbling, leave a few in the strike zone, see what happens, and trust your defense. Trust your defense. That's what they're there for. If you're not blowing guys away, make them half hit it. Pitch to contact. But keep it in the strike zone. Don't walk. No, let's dilly-dally. Let's fuck around. And it's not even like he's a nice guy. He's a dick. Everybody that knows him in the locker room, he's a dick. My inside sources say that he's a dick. And I wish the guy would pitch better. It's not like I'm rooting for him to suck. He has the stuff to do it, but you got everything else on this team, you have to realize what your strengths are and your weaknesses are. So Zach Neto, I'm calling you out. Mr. Uppercut Swing. Mr. I got to hit a home run every fucking at bat instead of realizing, I got a guy on base. Maybe a single would be nice right here. I could score him. He's at second. No, swing for the fences. They know what's coming. You got an uppercut fucking swing. The reason why Anderson struck out the big dumper in extra innings on Sunday was, if you look at the slow motion swing of him, he was trying to uppercut and hit a walk-off grand slam or a go-ahead grand slam instead of just making contact. Anderson threw a flat tire fastball. No movement. But Riley was just uppercut and swung right under it. If he just levels his bat, he's hitting it to the Honda Center. And like tonight, there's opportunities. Late in the game, 8th inning, down 5 runs or 5-2. Second and third, 1 out. Adele just missed one, but he moves both runners up. Heads up play. Ooh, let's pinch hit Logan O'Hoppe. That'll work. Logan O'Hoppe's like, home run or nothing, guys. And strikes out, proceeds to strike out. Travis d'Arnaud should know better. Nope, strike out. Again, that's where, I want to go to the replay because these guys are still putting all their chips in the stupid, worthless pot that is analytics instead of playing situational baseball, instead of playing just fundamental, small ball, anything. You take what the defense is giving you. Second and third, you're not going to hit into a double play. Hit a ground ball, at least get 1. Put another runner at third, or it squeezes through, you get 2. Hit a fly ball, drive one in, you're only 2 runs down. No, let's get nothing out of second and third with 1 out situation. Why? Because we're not trying to hit for contact. Isn't it amazing? The argument against analytics would be on Sunday, you needed to move the runners over. And instead of doing what Nevin did and Madden did and Ron did, and they were the whole thing, even when you would listen to Perry, oh, well, we get guys on base, we're trying to, hit to the right side, put it where they're not. Well, that works if you have really good contact hitters, which they don't. You have speed and you have semi-good contact hitters. And you have no power hitters. Come on now. You don't have the kind of power hitters to always be wanting to drive the ball. So my point being is this. When they put down the bunts and they wanted to do something, they made it work because they utilized a small ball. Shonawell in that same game, they had a runner at second base. He purposely grounds to the second base side, sacrificing himself. It's a glorified bunt. He hit it on the ground, got the out. They had no play at third. Next play is a base hit, scores a run from third. You apply pressure on the pitcher. So what if a guy doesn't get a hit that's up after him, but the run still scores because there's a wild pitch? Again, you manufacture a run. You put pressure on the defense. You put pressure on the catcher now that he can't call that split finger in the dirt. He can't call that sweeper in the dirt. That helps your hitter get a better pitch to look at, because now he knows that ball's not going to be in the dirt. They can't afford to put it in the dirt. Think. It's all there if you want it. It literally is all there if you want it. And if O'Hoppe's not the contact guy right there, get his ass out of there. Don't pinch hit for him. Don't use him. Use someone that will make contact. And then, lo and behold, I mean, it's the baseball gods make you pay. When you fuck around, you find out. So the Angels weren't able to get those 2 runs in to make it a 1-run game, right? The baseball gods said, well, you're penalized. You didn't get those 2. You're going to give it 2. So they gave 2 runs up and the game was essentially over. You have to capitalize. Momentum's a funky thing. It is real. If you've ever played a contact sport at all, it is real. So when you have a chance to grab the bull by the horns, by God, you fucking do it. You don't, and when you mess up, okay, things happen. You're not going to be perfect. Baseball is not meant to go 1,000, to bat 1,000, to be airless, to all that stuff. Everything has its advantages and disadvantages, but when you get the opportunity on a silver platter, you have to give yourself the best chance to succeed, not the worst. The best chance. And at least if you fuck up and you strike out, you went down looking at the right pitches, or you went down swinging the right way, or you had the best at bat you possibly could, but you hit it right at somebody, or you just missed a pitch. You fouled off the one you should have hammered, or you should have put to the opposite field. I much rather have those kind of opportunities come and go and know that you put your best foot out there than just fuck around and, well, the analytics say this. No, stupid. The situation says this. I mean, because otherwise you might as well just have, I mean, because to me it feels like someone's got a controller and they're sitting up in the Don Julio club and they're pressing X circle. Those buttons mean analytics. Those mean hit the other way. And they have a button triangle for something else. They're not allowing the game to flow on its own. They're trying to dictate it like you would a video game. And to me, it takes the fun out of it because we're sitting in the stands like we do on the Heedy Network because we're there with you. Because it's by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. And if you can see it in your seat, I can see it in my seat. And we're just like, okay, what the hell's going on here? Like, why didn't they do this? And then you just throw your hands up and you're like, maybe the other team comes out and does some bullshit too. And you're like, wow, I bet you their fans are pissed off too. But more often than not, it's the other team succeeding and doing the right thing. And you're like, how come they're getting the hits? You know, how come they're trying to just flare it over the infielders and knock it where they're not? Put it in the hole between the infielders and the outfielders. Squeeze one through the open side of the infield. You tell me. Because there are a lot of things that I like that Kurt has done as a rookie with no experience at manager. And there's an awful lot that I'm just like, okay, I'm scratching my head on this one, dude. I really am. I mean, I don't know. Let's get through the awards, and then we got a shit ton of comments, so bear with me. The Golden Stamos.
Perfection is John Stamos. Ladies and gentlemen, the Golden Stamos Award.
Now, I'm not biased in this one at all, usually. I'm not biased. I give the other team credit when they win. I give, our team shit when we lose. And usually I reserve, but I'm going to be biased as hell in this one because Soler came through, stuck up for not only himself, because I think he stuck up for himself first, rightfully so, but second, I think the fact that he sent a message. Yeah, I'm going to give Jorge Soler the John Stamos Award for going out there and trying to beat that pussy's ass. I'm sorry for using language tonight, but it's true. It is damn true. I mean, you try to hit our guy with a closed fist and a baseball. That's borderline battery. Look at this punk right here, dude. Holding on to the baseball, not throwing his glove down, not even Pedro Martinez, who was scrawny, threw his ball down and the glove and decided to go fisticuffs when he got into fights. And then he's swinging, hitting. Good thing Soler has the freaking helmet on, but that had to rattle his brain a little bit. So screw Lopez. Let's do the Nacho Night Award.
So that was really your best tonight, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, the Nacho Night Award.
The Nacho Night Award goes to two players. I've done multiple players for the Nacho Night Award. I've even done an entire lineup when they sucked. And on any other night, I would give it to like the Angels lineup for 14 strikeouts. But I've never given it to two players from different teams. And I think I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to give it to our MLP or MVP, most valuable pussy, and that's Lopez, as he chose to be a when the real guns came out there and he tried to come at Soler when he was already tackled. And so he gets it and Kikuchi gets it because I think Kikuchi definitely sucks right now, and he has not had a good start to his 2026. He needs to be more active in the strike zone, trust his defense, and stop pussing around the strike zone. Dude, you're leaving too many guys on base. You're freaking putting too many guys on base. It's tough, man. So it's true about Angels' promise to pay Eric K's legal fees in last year's. Yeah, they did, big dog. They did promise to pay Eric K. Now, Angels or Buttercup, they had a lead. So let's play the Buttercup to get that out of the way. Then I'll get to your comments.
Here we go again.
Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down, mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from.
At least it was safe and affordable.
It was safe and very affordable tonight. So the Angels lose, and this was me again.
You fools! Ah! Ah! For real!
It's Spritz o'clock.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast to today. Sip and cheer no matter the score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
That is a pretty fruity drink right there. Tamir20 says, finally someone stood up for themselves. Stamos to Soler. Mateo said the same thing. I agree with wholeheartedly. Halo Joe says, no, he held onto the balls and slammed it on Soler. When Trout pushed Lopez away, Lopez still had the ball. See, that's weak. I am hoping this will wake the team up. I would be surprised if we go out there and kick the Braves' ass tomorrow. Like I said, a real team back in my day would start Anderson despite his pitches last night, knowing damn well he's going to get tossed. That way you hit Acuna with a hard fastball. They freaking warn both benches. Anderson gets tossed. You bring in Detmers like nothing happened, and he starts the game like a regular start. I mean, that's exactly what I would do. Atlanta would know it would be coming, but couldn't stop it. Straight up. Also, you got I'll take extra on the Chico pie. Oh my god. We got to scoot down to these comments here because I think a lot of this was when I hadn't gone on. Throwing the throw down was wild. Watching it live, it sure was, DJ. Also, we have a good relationship. I don't think we have tried anything against. Oh no, that's something else. Let's see, Lopez. Let me go down here. Let's see. Kikuchi was dry as hell. Tyler says. Also, Mateo says you get Grillmaster says you get out of it what you put into it. And, yeah, they could have got a lot more out of this if Trout threw a punch.
Let me tell you something about my guy, John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old balls and running up my butt right now. You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos choked on me.
This fat son of a bitch is going to drown us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Prince Groove says 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Yes, 714 tickets is definitely the place you want to go to get your tickets at 10% off, including the prices you see as the price you get. So there's no hidden fees or taxes, and you can use HITI in the promo to get that additional 10% off. Jim says long night at the ballpark. What time is the clock limit for bench clearing brawls? That one did take a while. Plus, they had to warm up another pitcher, so that was like a good 20 minutes. It wasn't our night. Let's flush this loss and bounce back tomorrow. Yeah, let's leave hopefully tomorrow with a win so we can go out to Cincinnati with a winning record before we lose there. Soler charges the mound. Let's take a ride with Honda. Tyler Buck. Also, Tigers versus White Sox Brawl 2000. Andrew says, who wins a fight, left-handed Rendon or Soler? Soler, dude. Soler's got some fists, bro. Prince says, flush it like today's morning turd, Mateo. Oh, that's nasty. Why you guys always go farts? See, can't wait till tomorrow. Can't wait to hear Host Boys says tomorrow. Soler would probably mop the floor with Rendon. He would. Andrew says, need to win the rubber game tomorrow, to be honest. Awful offense after the first night. Yeah, 14 freaking strikeouts, dude. Also, he grazed Perez with that left jab. He sure did. Jim says Kikuchi to start again tomorrow, a third of an inning. Hell, he might as well earn his money somehow. Detmers to relieve Kikuchi. Yeah, dude, like, again, Kikuchi's not earning that money. He's like Tyler Anderson 2.0, which is very sad. Darno and Albies were hugging during the fight. Yeah, I wonder where that came from. Lopez with the prison rules. Street ball right there. MLB, the streets. Prince says, nah, this was a barroom brawl. Tyler says maybe he had too much sticky stuff on the ball. Too much junk on the ball. Also, man, if Soler came at me like that, I'm throwing the ball at him and then running into the stands. Riley with the UNC or the Unk Fall trying to jump in. Lopez is going to have a longer suspension, possibly. It depends on how the MLB looks at it. Nobody is hitting Trout. I have no issue with that. Trout did. Exactly. And it's most of the fans are going to agree with that it's okay that Trout didn't do nothing. But for me, I would have liked for Trout to finally do something. Major League Beef Curtain still has the ball when Trout got to him. Oh, man. Josh says Mancada better get to swinging if he can't hit a pitch. Exactly. And he was too busy adjusting his his freaking uni. Trout isn't going to hit anyone, bro. Come on. Also, Todd, bring back the uni permanently. I would love to do that. Also, if I'm Kurt Suzuki, I would go at the umpire and say, why can't we retaliate? Also, Josh says Brian Wu better go to sleep on the mound next time we see him. Yeah, someone's got to get him back for sure. Here we go again with the Trout. It's not the Trout bashing. It's what we've wanted from him for years, bro. It's for him to step up and go at somebody and be a leader in some capacity, man. I'm tired of the fact that he leads by example. It's like, no, this guy's got to lead by action. And also temperament in the locker room. That should be his locker room. Instead, it's Neto's who is habitually striking out now. Emilio says if Trout goes after Lopez, he's fucking done. They're going for his head the next game, or one of the Braves goes after Trout and he gets decked. See, and that's fine. I'm not poo-pooing any of your comments. Those are your like that's what we do here, man. Those are your what was it called? Opinions. My opinion is I would have just loved for him to take a shot, dude. Like I've seen stars, like we've seen Jeter getting fights. You saw Sheffield getting fights, Posada. Those are major players, dude. Pedro Martinez, Manny Ramirez, Jason Varitek was the fucking captain. He had a C on his jersey, captain. And he went after Alex Rodriguez. So why can't our El Capitan go after somebody? Just saying. Tim Belcher was a good fight right there, too. Kingfish early fights right there. Yes, it was Wants. Wants will forever be a bitch in my playbook as far as a pitcher. When he apologized to the other team's player he hit and said, they told me to throw at me or at you. There's no coming back from that. Zero. Tamir 20 says that's the only highlight Rendon has in his tenure with the Angels. Yeah, Tyler says, yeah, I remember when he opened with Wants and he threw at him immediately. Yes. You remember Stassi came out and just stood there. Yeah, Stassi's like, let me pretend I'm taking a strike. Todd, realistically, how long do you think Soler will be suspended for? I have to agree with Randy right there. 3 to 5 games is probably what you're going to see, but you won't see him immediately do it. I don't think. I think that he'll wait till they come home against the Padres. I think he'll probably, or at least he'll play the series against Cincinnati because it's a hitter's ballpark. So he'll probably appeal it. So we'll see. Same thing right there. Also, what about MLP? Major League Pussy. Tyler says Heim was so slow to get between them. He was. Lopez better get a longer suspension for punching Soler with the ball. That's where the league needs to look into it. That is exactly where the league needs to look into it. Mad Max says, do the Braves teach their pitchers to hold onto the baseball when punching something? That's 2 nights in a row. Yeah, that is. We got Buttercup. That's what happened. That's for sure. 10 left on base. Hey, Halo Joe says, I was so fired up. I called my daughter and said, check this out. We watched it after she looked at me and said, why are your nipples hard? Because you're like, Trent Rush is my cousin. Also, Rex says it was just fake all over. Yes, it was. Rex says Kikuchi is going to away from what's worked for him in the past. At some point, you need to admit your UNC and you're not to mess with your mechanics and pitch rotation. Exactly. Like Rob said about Kikuchi, the Asian Tyler Anderson. Let's see. Also, Kikuchi is number 2. Number 4, Detmers should be number 2. Yeah, I agree with that one. Michael says, damn, we already at mid-season level rant. Tamir 20 says Kikuchi gets paid $21 million a year, and he's mediocre as fuck. He sure is. Only mid-season with some guys that pull their heads out of their butts. Also, maybe we got to get Kikuchi drunk to get that demon back. Whatever works, man. Magneto is still learning. He sure is, but to be a leader, you gotta be that guy. And you got to be able to hit whenever you can. Detmers is our 2. Jack K can really be a 3 with his new look. I don't know. I got to see more, Josh. He has the stuff, but does he have the control? Mateo says, I wouldn't mind Silset starting over Kikuchi. Kikuchi's got, well, Silset's got a way to go. You can't send Kikuchi down. He's worth too much. The thing is, you want him to pitch good because maybe, just maybe, these idiots will trade him at the deadline and get a couple decent prospects. You're not going to get high-level prospects, but you'll get decent prospects that'll make this team. Neto's still learning situational baseball. It's usually the last thing that you learn before you're rushed to the majors. And he was rushed to the majors. I'll give him that, but someone's got to work with him and tell him, hey, man, slow down on that uppercut swing. He's making the mistakes a college kid at AAA will be making. Also, Wayne made up for his horrible Dell robbery call. Nacho Knight to Neto, 4 strikeouts. Yeah, I didn't even do that one. I should have even thought of that one, but I didn't like Kikuchi or Lopez tonight. Also, today we Taco Tuesday, not Nacho Tuesday, LOL. Kikuchi on Taco Tuesday, they knew what they were doing. Need hip hoppy to go back to the middle, up or nothing. These croquet swings ain't doing shit for the team and his confidence at the plate. Yeah, he's been deader than a doornail since midway of last season. Mateo says, like in football, you keep putting the pressure on the opponent. Absolutely. I honestly miss post-trade 14 when he looked scared to not put the ball in play no matter what. And that's the problem. Too many guys love the home runs. Iglesias threw Ohapi 3 same exact pitches for strikeouts. Sheesh. Also, dope game right there. I'm Mad Max's. In Japanese, taco means octopus. They love to eat that shit. So do we, apparently. Saturday and Sunday felt like different games. Suzuki needs to decide what brand of baseball he wants to play. Yes, and stop messing with it. Steamed octopus at peak. Also, Zach Neto would strike out every time if they threw just sliders. Boy, he is very susceptible to that. That is a crime right there. Also, bring back Squid, Anaheim PD. Where was Kurt Suzuki during the fight? He was like, bro, there's too much going on in the field right now. I think I'm just going to light one up and see what happens. Suzuki was in the dugout checking the surf report. 2 to 3 foot breakers off the coast of Camarillo, and you have 5 foot breakers with the Runyon fish down by Dana Point. Yeah, sweet. I'm gonna go get the sex wax. Mateo says, put the glove down and the ball down and square up. That's what you're supposed to do. That's a diabolical graphic. Also, Josh says Kyron Paris deserves another shot. He had another great spring and he had a better approach. They haven't even put him in the minor league game and he's not injured. Well, according to what I saw tonight, Josh, because I thought of the same thing, Kyron's on the 7-day IL right now. So we'll see. I do want to see him up here. Bro had his chance. He did, but I think he deserves another. I really do. Family 4-pack. Unscrewed his balls with what? Nolan says, what's up, Todd? It was super cool meeting you today. Also, I watched the Angels versus Royals day or that day. Appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate meeting you there too, Nolan. Dude, over the last few games, and that's how I know this page and the community of Halos in the infield is growing. I've run into so many of you, and I'm so glad to meet you and put faces to the names. It's so nice to meet all of you guys and then, hear what your favorite part of the show is. And I'll even ask you if we have time. I didn't get a chance to ask Nolan tonight, but I was going to ask him, what's something we could do that's better? I like to do that with some of the fans because then it helps us grow and helps us do better, things that you like, things that you don't like, Yo is co-host Scott Spezio left on base too often. No, it's not Scott Spezio, but we did have him on the show one time. Hey, Todd, do you think Soler will be suspended? Yes. And no Deos again. I think they finally retired it. Also, Shauna Will started running before Soler and Lopez went in, which was awesome. Just tell Kikuchi that players in Korea and China are better, and then it will spark his nationalism. Cute corn, I'm coming undone. Can't say that one part, but they're about nationalism. Tamir 20 says, Todd, the Angels are too stupid to trade anybody. That is true, and that's why I'm frustrated. Tigers versus White Sox, April 22nd, 2000 Brawl. Do you remember that? No, but I will look that one up. Also, do you think this fight will probably go on to tomorrow? Yes. Ohapi and Mankata to AAA. They're not going to do either because listen, you got some players coming up, and they're real high on Campero. Campero's back at it right now in AAA working as a catcher. He did start spring as an outfielder, so that could tell you something. Do you think this? Yes, it will. I think it will carry over to tomorrow. I really do. Did this guy do a rant on the Ohtani signing with the Dodgers? Need to watch it. New here. Hey, I love if you'd like and subscribe to the page and get that notification bell. And yes, I did. Look back to last year. I ranted, or not last year, 2 years ago. I ranted big time on Ohtani and have before on some of the stuff, the gambling stuff too. So check it out. No matter what tomorrow, the record will be some form of 6-7. Of course it will. Nolan says, does Kikuchi miss work when it's his turn to work with Maddox? Seems like he's the only one that's not getting the Maddox rub. That could be too, because a lot of these players are doing their due diligence pitching wise. Even Anderson, although gave up a couple runs tonight, has looked better. A lot of these guys have looked better. I'm interested to see when these veterans come back, when Ben Joyce comes back, if we're going to see something. If Grayson Rodriguez looks really good, I'm real eager to see that dude. Now, I just don't think we'll see him until maybe the Padres series or the Yankees series, which is going to be trial by fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been great if he was ready to go and we could see a little sample size, but no, can't have that. We can't have nice things. Salvador says, hit that like button. I appreciate that. Where's Matt Thice when you need him? Dude, Suzuki, I'm not looking for a car. I'm looking for my manager. Kurt. Freaking, I do miss Stassi, dude. That was one high ass guy.
I know that, dude.
Wait, hold on.
I know that, dude. Oh, gnarly.
That was good old Matt Thice, man. How does Walt Weiss not get tossed for tackling Soler? Because he wasn't throwing punches. He was in there just trying to stop things. You get on the umpires, and I've been in a couple fights, you get on the umpire's good side by stopping the fight early so they don't have to go in there. So anytime you see these players actually holding, it's not just because they don't want to fight. It's because they don't want to look bad to the umpires. A, they don't want a suspension. B, they don't want to get the league involved. And C, they want to look like they're good little boys so that when they come up into the plate, they can go over there and say, hey, man, it was a crazy fight, huh? I'm just glad to help you guys out, and you didn't have to get in there and get all dirty, right? Tap them on their shin with your bat. You get in the box, you may get before the ABS system was invented, you might get a ball that wasn't or that was a strike. You might get one your way. I'm telling you, umpires, you can grease them. Like when I would play, I seen players like they did their homework. They knew some of their family members, or that maybe one of their cousins or something played for a team back in the day, or they played back in the day, and they're like, man, I saw your highlights, bro. You were good back then. How come you never made it? And they gloss them up, and then when they get in the batter's box, that's pregame, right? When the umpires first get on the field and everything, and you're doing the lineups and whatnot, you're practicing a little bit. The umpires are getting set for the game, and then the players would actually, go out there right before they're at bat and, kind of nudge the umpire and be like, hey, man, have a good game today. It's first inning, And usually it was a leadoff guy or the number 2 guy that would try to grease up the umpire really good. And when a pitch came by, I'd be like, man, I should have swung that. That shit was right there, dude. And then you just make a joke or something. That gets the umpire's attention. They're human. But now with the ABS system and you try to do that, it's like the umpire calls ball, and then the pitcher's like, or the catcher's like, and then they go over there and they're like, yeah, you're not getting that easy strike. Let's see, the Deo guy is out of a job. He sure is. Do you think Lopez was? Yes, Steve Elise did translate that. Steve Elise said that Lopez was like, come get me, motherfucker. Supposedly, that's what she said. Todd, quick, top 3 best Angel uniforms of all time. I have to say the 80s look, the 85, 89 one, the All-Star season one. I like the Angels one with a All-Star patch. Number 2 for me is the California Angels 95 season, 94 season. I love that CA because I love the night games where they would just have the blue jersey with a big ass CA on the front with the red letters and font. That was nice. And then this one's my 3rd favorite. Currently the Angels red ones right now are my 4th, but I did dig this one. Like when I play the show, I rarely play with the actual Angels red jerseys. I'm always in their Los Angeles ones from way back, these or the California Angels ones, because it's something when they had those 90s week, I think it was like 2-3 years ago, and seeing Mike Trout and other players, and even with Justin Upton and those other guys wearing the two-tone bill and the CA and them looking like the 90s Angels, I'm like, that's just a fresh-ass look. Like, I wish it would just go to that all the time. And they've never gone to this one. And there's a good reason why they've never gone to this one. When they do their retro or their throwback, is because it was squarely Disney. It had nothing to do with Gene Autry. Nothing to do with Gene Autry. Because if you remember, when they switched to these jerseys, the renovation was already in the mix. They had already given half of the franchise to Disney, and Disney would not later wrap up until 98 with the renovations. When Gene Autry died, then that's when they got full control of the team. But you remember, this was all Disney. This had nothing to do with Gene Autry. They picked this. They designed this. So that's why you'll never, ever, ever see the Angels wear this jersey, especially with Artie in charge. If Artie passes on to the afterlife, then maybe, just maybe, these will make a comeback with a new owner. Who cares if we get suspended? We're going to end up dead last anyways, probably. Capsule says, what a night. Todd Fox is a real one, though, bro. Got me a Modelo tonight. Thank you. Next round on me. There you go. That's my boy right there. Good night all around. Also, Stassi, he wasn't high. He was just a statue. All I know of him from was, that's right. I'm thinking of Thaiss. I'm thinking of Thaiss. Rendon somehow fought while injured and pushed a guy with his hand in the cast. He sure did. Also be a good opportunity to bring up some AAA players. Yeah, if a fight starts, definitely have plenty of replacements. Marsha gets out there and puts into it what she can get out of it. Braves were probably like, we're in a good place to get some ceviche, California. Also, we need some VAR on this team, or some real players, I should say. Dogs on this team. That's what he meant. We aren't very brave against Atlanta. Stupid. I'm Mad Max. Todd is grandfathered in for Artie's original beer markdowns. I think Holmes called his dear Watson for some tips. Oh my God. Why did I read that? The one wearing right now is a good uniform. Or yeah, I love this one, dude. I love this one. Also, why the fuck we Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim? We are currently the Los Angeles Angels. No more of Anaheim. That changed in 2009 when they were able to get out of that agreement. But that's what the city and state are now suing for, that they have to put Anaheim back in the name because that's the contract that was signed. But there was a loophole that Artie used to get out of that of Anaheim thing. So right now we're screwed until that happens. They want to go back to Anaheim, ditch Los Angeles. We're only Los Angeles because Artie thought it was brilliant to market the team as Los Angeles to make more money. Because it's all about the money. Top priorities are safety and affordability. Why am I doing a lisp like that and talking like him? YouTube Artie Moreno press conference, or Artie Moreno YouTube him as speech engagement. That guy has a horrendous lisp. It is hilarious. His lisp is off the chain, and it is hilarious. Not making fun of lisp people in general. I don't want to degrade anybody, or if someone has a lisp, I'm not making fun of them. I'm making fun of Artie because Artie's put us there to where it's like if he was fat, I'd be making fun of his weight. You know what I mean? So when I usually wouldn't fat shame someone because I got to look at myself first, I'd do it to him because he's just a dick.
This fat son of a bitch is going to drown us all out. Calm down, okay? All right? He's fat.
Lazy says there was a whole bunch of safety and affordability at tonight's game. Just couldn't get enough of it. The host gives me Fountain Valley vibes. You'll never see those periwinkle uniforms. They're ugly as hell. Also, Todd, let's get some In and Out and chat one of these days and chill at Huntington Beach. I'm down. I like me some In and Out. Just not a fan of the fries, man. Not a fan of the fries. I still think we should throw out Acuna. I agree. I made Todd read a joke. I think he has emotional damage. I sure do, dude. Because you're ruining it, man.
You're ruining it. Ruining.
Emotional damage.
Also, let's see. The contract with the clause name was given up. In 2016. There you go. I knew Halo Joe would get it. 2016. Hey, Todd, my favorite jerseys are the California navy blue home white. 75 and 90 through 93 road, Anaheim 2002. Those are cool choices right there, Mace. The navy blue is always a good look. Even when Anaheim did this one and they did just the angels over the front, I thought that was pretty good. Or they did the big A in the corner above the heart. I really like that one too. They wore those on night games at the big A. So there was a lot of cool stuff back in the day, and stop Todd. You get tooth shame Terry every chance you get. And you know what's funny too about that Halo Joe? We walked by the rape vans, and I was walking by with Eric when we were out of the stadium, and Eric goes, "Your boy Eric," and he was out there with his sons, and he actually goes, "Hey, look, it's the AM830 rape vans." And I started laughing. He's like, Terry Smith is somewhere in there. He goes, I keep wanting to see him try to break out of that van. Started dying right there. The fighting doesn't seem very safe. I didn't think fighting compiled with Artie safe and affordable. They were wearing hard hats, apparently. Let's see. Johnson says, Todd, thanks for the Angels therapy. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all of you guys jumping in here. It is therapy at times. Michael says, what will happen when Artie passes away? Raiders situation? Quite possibly. And best case scenario, I know I don't like to bring my football team in it because we won the Super Bowl. Love my Seahawks. But what's happened with them is best case scenario with the Angels. But it won't happen because Molly Jolly can't run this team. She's a team president, yes, but they need an owner in place. Like at least with Seattle, the Seahawks, they had the sister of the owner who had his bank account and who could run it the way she wants to. As soon as they got him to the Super Bowl and beyond, they're looking to freaking sell the team. And that team is going to go for high dollar. Now, if Artie were to pass away, the league would probably have to step in and sell the team. Like they would probably not own it, but they would have to steer it in the right direction to be sold because nobody in Moreno's family, his wife just wants to pay out. She doesn't want to deal with that shit. If you saw the video, just look at how frustrated both of them are because their boy Carpino, which Carpino's their friend, did not get his, well, sunset moment, riding off into the sunset. Just think about this real quick. Have you ever made dinner for somebody or a family, not somebody, but have you ever made dinner for family or maybe you created something or you designed something for a group of people? You set up a party or something, just something to where you're going to have you're doing something nice for somebody in your mind. In your mind, you feel like, okay, I'm doing something great. It took me a lot to get to this part. I had to put a lot of time aside, a lot of work into this. And here's the payoff. Here's the reveal. Like you show the food or you open the door and there's a brand new room that you constructed or you redid the backyard or you bought a new stereo system for the house and the family. How would you feel? Because I've been there. When nobody appreciates it or everybody's against you and they're like, Dad, what the hell were you thinking? No, that's not what we want. And they're effectively booing you in their own way. And I'm talking about a handful of people. Yes, they're close to you. Yes, they're family. Yes, they mean a lot. But Artie Moreno thinks he's doing everything right. And he's like, I'm going to send my boy off. Just totally tone deaf to what the temperature is in the room. Just doesn't understand that, listen, nobody wants to celebrate anything under your watch. Nobody wants to celebrate shit that you've done. Yet you make it happen anyway. And at least with us, when we do those reveals and all that other stuff and we get the criticism from our family, we get it. We fucked up. Or we didn't do things right. We didn't do our research. Damn it. It's an ego hit to us and it hurts, but hey, we learn, right? Not Artie Moreno. Artie's like, what the fuck is their problem? He's over there telling his wife, I don't get it. He's such a good guy. Read the room. Because you don't have a handful of people booing you. You have like 45,000 or more just slipping you the finger. Wouldn't pee on you if you caught fire. That's why he has got to go. There's no redemption story for this guy. There's no, wow, Artie just didn't know what was going on or things didn't work out for him. And look what happened at the end of this, his run there with the Angels. He got this team back to prominence. He got them into the World Series. I think I have better chances of waking up as a woman tomorrow with surgically repaired genitalia than freaking Artie Moreno getting this team back in the postseason and being anywhere close to getting any praise from the fans. Because even if he were to get us back to the playoffs, do you think at this point, at any situation, let's just say the Angels win 92 games and get to the postseason this year, do you think Artie can go into the locker room like he did in 2005, 7, and 9 and have Torrey Hunter-like player douse him like Neto with some champagne and he could get in there with his big-ass goggles and revel in what he supposedly created? Do you think that the Angel fans would let up on him at all? They would still boo his ass. Because everyone would be like, well, he just got lucky. And they would give all the credit to the players, as they should. Nothing that man will do, in my opinion, will ever, ever, ever win back any one of us. So that's why it's like, why even try? Do we know your ego? We know your ego hurts Like, stop killing yourself, bro. And then you come out and say stupid ass shit to make it even worse. It's safe and affordable. They don't care about winning. The hell we do. So that ship is already passed, bro. The best thing you could do and actually get people to be putting Artie Moreno's name in a positive light is headline Artie Moreno sells. Oh, yeah. That'll be the first time someone cheers for your ass in decades. Literally. It's been about almost 2 decades. Because I don't even think in 2014 we were glossing him at all. So, yes, I would have to say the only way he can get me and you excited for Artie Moreno's name at all is if it's in a headline on our phone or if people still read or purchase newspapers that says Artie Moreno sells the Angels. That's the only way. Halo Joe says Molly Jolly's hot. Oh, God. Who's rich in the OC to buy? We just need to all search our couches, and we could do it. I go to Berkeley. There are a lot of rich people in the Bay Area. Let's see. Also, I have the audio of that balcony video of Artie and his wife. Artie needs to call in and share his thoughts on the Brawl. We'll have to do that tomorrow, dude, because this one got late because of my rants. So I apologize. Tomorrow will be an afternoon post game. The game starts at 1. I may get here on time when it closes because I can't go to the game tomorrow. I was there yesterday and today. So tomorrow's going to be more of like I get home and I could start the show and do that and wrap it up. And we'll take phone calls. I'll put the word out there to Artie and we'll talk to Artie before the team hits the road. Why did Anderson pitch so many innings? He had to freaking mop up. They needed someone to be the guinea pig, and he was. Artie drinking infant blood on Epstein Island. He could live to 100. Please don't say that because the Angels are dumb as fuck. The Tony Fox show. Yeah, 92. No, I'm joking, bro. That would be best case scenario. That's a total joke. If this team wins 81 games, I'll do a freaking handstand naked. Nothing better than a beard and lipstick. On a pig. Simply says, literally our starting pitchers have done decent. Imagine if we had got one free agent starting pitcher this offseason, we'd be pretty good. And that's where Grayson Rodriguez comes in. But even with Grayson Rodriguez, we would need another pitcher. Let's see. Also, Todd and a thong would be even better. Mr. Fox grew a beard. Simple says, Artie is about to die anyways. We just have to wait 10 more years. Only 10 more years. That's perfect. Welcome to the Marsha Fox. No, I don't think so. Let's just get a rich Chinese or Saudi billionaire. I mean, what could they do wrong at this point? Let's see. Who's the guy who has fuck you money? That's Sam Wellies. Simpo has a group of rich people who replicate the Dodgers. Yes, that would be nice. A group would be nice too, because then they would put things to vote. They wouldn't just do things willy-nilly. Todd was shirtless last year. Yeah, we also have Manoa. It's not saying much. All right, everybody. I appreciate everyone checking in tonight. I'll definitely talk to Artie Moreno. Let's see the fight one more time. Well, let's see the Soler home run because this gets lost in the shuffle. This was
Soler once again has torched Ronaldo Lopez.
Almost felt like it was Walt Weiss was in there to be able to try to stop that.
Yeah, it seemed to be. Well, the first pitch to Soler in this at-bat was upstairs. Remember, he got hit by a pitch earlier in the game as well, after the home run. So they just kind of stared each other down after Shonowell advanced on that wide.
Those are some serious haymakers there. God, I love that guy. See, also tell Dom I need a Ducks show badly. I can't call in and rant. Yeah, we will do. The Ducks are in a bad way. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna get us out of here. We will talk Ducks tomorrow. I think so. So check that out if you're a Ducks fan. Boy, are they falling apart. They are now a game out of first place, or not a game, a point out of first place. With only 4 games to go, they are truly pissing that division away. The Angels lose tonight, go to 6-6, but there's a chance they can get over 500 tomorrow. That's if this guy doesn't step in the way.
It's me.
Here's what the umpire said to the crowd during the fight. So when they were breaking it up.
Please, pitch first. Nothing to see here, please.
I'm just looking for an excuse to play these before we get out of here. And then, yeah, this is after the fight. I felt good, but then started to cry a little bit.
What I'm having. So good. It's so good.
All right, everybody. This is the Halos in the Infield Network. Check out 714 Tickets if you want the best tickets. We'll be on here tomorrow after the game, win or lose, before we hit that road trip. And check us out on anywhere in social media. Give us a like and subscribe. We got all kinds of things coming up, so you want to stay tuned to the channel. Appreciate everybody chatting with us on a crazy night at the Big A. And once again, man, if you ever want to come by and say hi, I'm sitting in 260 on most nights except most Sundays and getaway games like that happen in the middle of the week. I just can't get out of work. So we're buttercupped, and I'll play you out with that.
Here we go again.
Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down, mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will. I love you still, I need you more than anyone, darling. You know that I have promised.
At least it was safe and affordable.